Hey everyone, so today we are here in Gateway, Colorado to drive the brand new Kia Telluride. We're actually driving it from Gateway, Colorado to Telluride, Colorado, which is where this vehicle got its name. I'm super excited to show you guys all the details about this car. I'm gonna go over the interior, the exterior, of course take it for a drive, and hopefully we can get some cool shots of it in the snow. But let's go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so the Kia Telluride. Now this is Kia's brand new big 3-row SUV. Now, I love the fact that they went with boxy. I love boxy styling on SUVs. I think most SUVs look fantastic with the boxy styling. Now, this vehicle is going to be the SX V6. This is the fully loaded version. Almost every option you could possibly imagine is on this thing. So it's gonna give you a good idea of what to expect from Kia's flagship vehicle. Now this color is going to be called Snow White Pearl. It looks fantastic. It's got a good amount of pearl effect into it, and I love it with all of the black accents. I think it looks very good. As a matter of fact, they had one of these with a roof rack and a box on top of it at the resort that Kia has us at, and that one looks really nice. You can also get this in a few other colors. The other colors here at the event were dark moss, which is that dark green you've been seeing on basically all the commercials. They have gravity gray, and then they had a silver color, which looked really nice as well. You're going to have Telluride right here on the front. Now you do have your signature Kia Tiger Nose grille. This is the biggest version of that. And then coming over to the lights, you are going to have stacked headlights. So the headlights have this nice prominent look. It really fits the boxy shape of it. And you can really see the wheel wells coming out here, how it's got this really nice stance to it. It looks really good. Now on the SX trims, on the higher level trims, you're going to have a yellow LED that's going to run around the headlights. If you get a lower level trim, it's actually going to be a white LED. So you guys will know the higher level trimmed Tellurides by seeing the yellow ring going around the lights. If you get the white ring, that is going to mean it has projector beams and not the full LEDs like this one has. Now coming to the bottom, the only thing I'm not a huge fan of are these fog lights down here. I think they look a little aftermarket. I wish they would have put them somewhere else, but the rest of the front overall looks really good. I love how it's got that nice, mean, rugged look to it. And then looking at these creases coming through the hood, they look really nice. I think it does a great job of just keeping that more aggressive style. I just really love the look of this car. I can't stress that enough. You're going to have two options for your wheels. You have these 20-inch wheels, or you can get the 18-inch wheels, which are available on lower level trims. Now this does have a black gloss finish wrapped in Michelin tires. Looks really good. They're 245/50 tires, and they are Primacy Tour tires as well. Coming to the profile look, I love this view of the new Telluride. It looks absolutely gorgeous. The total length of this vehicle is 196 inches long. The ride height is going to be 69 inches this way, and then you have a 114-inch wheelbase. You also have an 8-inch ground clearance right here. So those are going to be more specs on just the overall dimensions of this vehicle to give you a better idea of how big it is. But I love all the lines. You got this real strong prominent line coming all the way down to the shoulder right here. And then I love the rear end of the vehicle. It looks very concept car like from this angle right here. You can really tell this stays true to that concept version we saw a few years ago. I love the taillights on this thing. And then as you come back here, you're going to have your all-wheel drive badge, because this version is all-wheel drive. Telluride here in the back, and then your SX V6 badge. Now of course these are going to be LEDs as well, and they've got this really unique look to them. I think it looks fantastic. Then as you come down here, you're going to have these dual chrome exhausts right here. Looks really high quality. It almost looks like Mercedes-Benz AMG like. Love the way that looks. All right guys, so here is the key for the Kia Telluride. It's really nice. As you guys can see, it has the Kia badge right here, and as you turn it, all your buttons are going to be to the side. So if your lock, your unlock, your hatch release, and then your panic button, there at the bottom, and then you are going to have a physical key within this to get into the car if this battery dies or if the battery on the Telluride were to die. Now you can use this key to get into the car, or you can use the button located on the handle. All right, so once you have the key on your person, once you come up to the door, first of all, you can see it's got this beautiful satin silver finish, but there's a black button right here, and when you push that, one beep is gonna mean it's locked, mirrors are gonna fold in, and 2 beeps means it's unlocked, and then your mirrors are going to fold out. All right, it's coming to the door of the Kia Telluride. You are going to have this sort of grayish leather that is going to be all throughout the interior. Looks really, really nice. Now coming to the door right here, you guys can see you have some soft touch material right here. So you have your soft leather here with some stitching going right there. You are going to have your Harman Kardon speaker right there. And then coming up top, you have wood here. It is going to be synthetic wood. It's not real, but you'd be hard pressed to think this is fake wood. It looks very, very realistic. And then you have this aluminum piece going to run all the way down here into the door handle. It looks very, very nice. You're also going to have memory seats right over here. You have 2 settings, a kick plate located right down here, and then all of your automatic seat controls. Aluminum pedals in here. You have your Telluride branded floor mats. And then the seat design on here is going to look really, really nice. It has tons of contours in it. You have perforations running through the middle, and the seat quality is very, very high. Pretty decent bolsterings right here as well. Really solid shut, no rattles, anything like that. Now your push start button is going to be right back here. Foot on the brake, and you're gonna push that button right there to start. With the steering wheel, you are going to have this 4-spoke steering wheel right here. Very high leather quality. You are going to have some stitching running through the middle of the steering wheel right there. You guys can see that. You also have these really nice satin silver pieces coming all right here. They're going to go all the way across and then to here as well. Your buttons are going to be aluminum as well, so you have your phone commands here, voice commands, different modes, AM, FM, XM, things like that. Then of course your volume, your tune, and then over here to the right, you're going to have all of your adaptive cruise control settings. One cool thing, adaptive cruise control comes standard even on the base version of this car. That is very, very nice to see. And then this button is going to help you control this screen right here in the middle. So if I zoom in just a little bit, you guys can see your gauges, tachometer over to the left, speedometer over to the right, then of course your fuel, and then your water temp right over there. But the middle display is pretty good. As you guys can see right here, you do have a heads-up display, so I can go in, adjust the height, the brightness, and I can even, I believe, change the color of it as well. So if I want it to be white, green, I can do that. But here is your heads-up display up here. Hopefully you guys can see that floating in your windshield there. So that is nice that you have heads-up display on this car, and you have tons of information through this middle screen that you can scroll through, which is really, really nice. Now coming over here off to the side, you're going to have your interior illumination over here, blind spot, lane keep assist. You're going to have your traction control here, and then your hatch release right up there. Coming to the door, of course, you have all of your window controls. You have your child locks, which you can adjust from back here. You have your door locks, and then your mirror controls located right up here. Now coming up, you have more of that nice looking wood. You're going to have some leather lining up here. This entire dash is going to be soft touch. You're going to have a speaker right back here, and then you have your head unit, which is going to be, I believe, a 10.25 inch unit. So it's pretty large. It's very nice, very vivid. It is touchscreen, so you guys can see here everything is very easy to get to. And then you have this clock right here, so if you guys can see that, it's pretty funny that they added that there. You know, maybe it's to help it look a little bit higher end, but I think it does a great job looking high end just as it is. So no need to put that there. So I'm pretty sure you can change it to something else there. But of course, navigation, all of your corresponding buttons here, map, nav, radio, then you're going to have your media button here, hazards right there in the middle. You do have your volume control here, and then your tune command right over here. And here's a better look at that wood. It's just really high quality. I can't believe it's fake, to be honest. It just looks so good. Moving down here, you have dual zone climate control. As you guys can see here, you can change your climates for each seat. Heated steering wheel right over here. All of your different zones, you have your fan speed, AC, turn on and off, everything like that. Then coming to the middle console here, you've got these two massive grab handles, which feel like nice and meaty. I know that's a super weird term to use, but it's really nice. It's wrapped in leather right up here. It even has stitching here, and it's just super solid. You're going to have your heated seats and cooled seats located right there. So it is very nice that you have that there. It's really cool looking too. I love that that's right there. You have all this piano black here. You lift that up and you're going to have USB 12 volt and another USB back here. You also have wireless charging back here. So you have your wireless charging pad, though my phone is not compatible. You do have that area right in there. Also, speaking of this USB port wireless charging, you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on this vehicle. So that is nice. You have a little storage pocket right here in front of your drinks. And of course, cup holders do a great job. Really solid sounding shifter. Put into reverse, you have your backup camera and your 360 camera right there as well. You can also change your view. So you have this for your trailer hitch. Now you can tow up to 5,000 pounds with this vehicle. This also has a self-leveling height adjustment in the back that will basically adjust the suspension depending on your load to help make sure it's as stable as possible. Really cool feature right there. You have your side views, which are great if you're parking on curves, and then you can adjust the contrast and do all kinds of different things like that. And then put it in park, goes right away. Now here are your driving modes. So you do have your all-wheel drive lock right here in the middle. So the all-wheel drive will send power to the front and then power to the back as needed. But if you hit the lock, it'll send power to all four wheels all the time, but it's only up to 40 miles an hour. Then you have your comfort, sport mode, smart mode, and you're going to have snow mode way over here, and then your eco mode right there. Automatic start stop, parking sensors, your camera view, so you can hit that anytime you want your camera view to come up, or you can turn it off if you don't want your camera view to come up. Automatic brake hold, electronic parking brake. And then your armrest right here is massive, so I can fit my arm here, and there's plenty of space for someone else to rest their arm there, so you don't have to be fighting over the armrest. And then you lift that up, and you've got storage space in here. We are out in the middle of the canyons in Colorado, so we don't have cell service, so we have a little satellite phone in here. And then you have storage space there with a 12 volt located down there, if you guys can see that. You do have your home link located right at the bottom, if you guys can see that at all. Coming up to the top, you are going to have LED lights up here, so you guys can see the LED lights doing their thing, look really, really bright, really nice. Sunglass holder right here. You're going to have your UVO, Connect, and emergency systems there. And then you have your sunroof, moonroof, whichever you want to call it, does open up. One thing that's really cool, check out this headliner. It's like a microfiber suede feel, and it looks really high quality. Even if you decide to go with the black interior, this headliner is going to be black, and it has that same microfiber cloth feel and look to it. Vanity mirror right here with LED light. Last thing is going to be the windows. So if you guys can hear this, those are double paned windows. So you guys can actually see the two panes of glass right here. Very impressive. It keeps the cabin extremely, extremely quiet. But that's pretty much it for the front seat. Let's go ahead and hop in the back and check out the room. All right, so one thing I want to add in before I go on to the back seat is the ambient lighting inside of the cabin. It's very, very vivid, looks really good. I love the way the entire center console lights up. It's very crisp, everything's very, very easy to read, and then you can see on this screen you can also change the ambient light colors, which is really cool. All right, so hopping to the second row of the Kia Telluride. First thing you're going to notice is you have grab handles right up here to help you get in and out of the vehicle, which is nice. Now, sitting behind myself, I have this seat set to my passenger position. I'm 6 feet tall, so 6 foot tall person behind here. I have plenty of room, guys. I have almost 4.5, 5 inches of knee room. And then of course you can scoot your seat up, scoot your seat back. This is at its furthest position, and I think that's a little bit more than 5 inches if I go all the way back. So very impressive amount of knee room. And then of course my feet room is great. I can slide my feet in and out, no issue, so I can really get comfortable back here. And the seats do recline as well, so if I recline the seats all the way back, it's a pretty aggressive angle. And then with this little armrest right here, you can definitely get super comfortable in this back seat. So that is very, very impressive. Now you do have cup holders back here. So you have cup holders right here. Coming off to the side, you are going to have a USB port right here, which is great because when it's plugged in here, you can still have your phone in your hand with your cord plugged into this. You do have a little hook right here, so you can hang like maybe a purse, a small bag or something right there. You have a map pocket here, map pocket over there. Then you're going to have a 115 volt plug and then a 12 volt plug right over here. Now, one thing I do want to note is that the AC controls are going to be up top. It's a real strange place to put it, but I kind of gotten used to it and it looks really cool having a little bit more controls up here. You do have LED lights back here in the back, and then of course you have your vents right back here, which is great. So if your kids get back from soccer practice, baseball practice, any kind of sport, and they hop in the back seat, you can immediately have the AC just blowing right where you need it. As far as the door goes, if I shut the door, really solid door shut, and you do have your sunscreen shades right back here. So if you have infants and you don't want their sensitive skin to be hit by the sunlight, UV rays, you do have this available. You are also going to have your Harmony card and speaker back here, decent amount of storage space, and probably a first for this class, you have heated and cooled seats in this second row, which is super impressive. And of course you have this beautiful, beautiful sunscreen back here. And overall, it's a very nice, very comfortable second row. Let's go ahead and hop in the third row and see what the space is like back there. Getting to the third row of the Telluride is very simple. So there's a button right here. You're gonna push that button, it's gonna move forward. Now, just for like loading cargo purposes, if you wanted to fold the seat flat, you're gonna use this handle. So you pull this handle, seats fold flat. But since we're getting to the third row, I just push that button and the seats fold forward just like that. So even if you have a car seat in here, you should be able to access the third row without removing the car seat. You do have 2 steps right here. You guys can see those are pretty on the small side. Now, climbing into the back, now I do have this seat to its furthest position back. So this is all the way back as far as it can go. And I'm not sure if you guys can see, I have a little bit of room. My feet can actually slide underneath, which is usually not the case in most third rows. And I've got maybe half an inch behind here, which is good. My headroom is pretty good, even though I have big hair. It's touching, it's squished a little bit, but it is a third row. So the fact that I'm 6 feet tall and can even fit back here with this seat all the way back is very, very impressive. You're going to have a USB port on each side, and then you have 1, 2, 3 cup holders back here, and then a little tiny storage pocket as well. One thing I also did not point out, you have your lights back here. You are going to have vents back here as well. You also have LED lights right here. And your third seat belt is going to be located right back here in the back, if you guys can see that there. Now, one thing that's pretty cool about the back seat, I know you can do it somehow, but I'm pretty sure you can recline the third row here. So there's a little fabric piece right here, if you guys can see it. So you have a little fabric piece right here. You're gonna pull that, so I'm pulling the one on my side, and you can actually recline the back seat. So now I'm actually very, very comfortable back here. My headroom is fine, and as a matter of fact, I could probably sit back here now on about a 30-minute drive and be completely fine. It'll be a little bit cramped, but I will be okay. So that is very impressive. So if you have kids, big family, this is definitely not just having a third row just for like marketing purposes. It is a true third row, and you can actually fit decent sized people back here. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk space. Forgot, if you are in the third row, there's a button here. You press that, it does the same as this button right down here. So if you are back here and there's no one to help get you out, you just hit that button and it'll fold the seat forward. That way you can get out of the third row. All right, so coming to the back of the Telluride, there's going to be a button located right underneath here. So when you walk up to the car, all you have to do is press that button. I'll open the hatch for you. That it does open very wide, so being 6 feet tall, I can stand underneath this thing, no issue. So getting in and out should be very easy. As you guys can see right here, this does have the Telluride branded floor mats. That is an extra option. You even have these here, and these are basically going to prevent scratching all of this plastic part whenever you load in cargo. Now, this does have class leading space from behind the third row. So this is more space back here than you're gonna get in the Chevy Tahoe. It's more space than you're gonna get in the CX-9. Of course, the Sorento, the Nissan Pathfinder, the Toyota Highlander, and the Honda Pilot. Literally every vehicle in the class, this has the most third row, behind the third row space. Now, if you lift this up, you do have storage space underneath here. So you guys can see the storage space right under there. It's pretty deep, and then your spare tire is going to be underneath here as well. So if I put the floor back, this is dumb. This is so dumb. Okay, so once the floor is back down, you're gonna fold down these seats just by pulling these handles right here. And you guys can see you have a ton of space back here. Very easy to load things in. You have a 12 volt right over here to your left. And then you have buttons here to fold down the second row. So if I hit these buttons, that is going to fold down that chair, and that's going to fold down that chair. Now they will fold flat. You just have to get in there, scoot the front seats forward just a little bit, and you should have a completely flat loading floor. But let's go ahead and see what's under the hood and see what powers this thing. Under the hood of the Kia Telluride, you're going to have an all-new 3.8 liter V6. It's naturally aspirated. It's going to make 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. Now that is going to be sent to all four wheels through a part-time all-wheel drive system. Now you do have an all-wheel drive lock button in the middle like I showed you guys earlier, and that will put this car into full all-wheel drive, 25% to each wheel until about 40 miles an hour. Here are the fuel economy figures if you guys want to see that as well. But yeah, it is sourced through an 8-speed automatic transmission. It isn't going to be a dual clutch or anything like that, but it does have very, very quick shifts. Now let's go ahead and get this thing on the road and see how it does. All right, you guys, so driving the new Kia Telluride. So we're actually on our way back from Telluride. I really wanted to get some footage while we were there, but the town is really small. It's very compact. There's people everywhere, and there's hardly any place to film. So I'm actually driving on my way back. I believe I'm on Highway 145, if that sounds right. But the car drives extremely smooth. It's very, very comfortable. On the way up there, it was very plush. Taking these long, curvy roads, it's not an issue at all when it comes to just comfort. Drivability is great. All the visibility in the car is fantastic. You've got these gigantic mirrors. You have perfect visibility out the rear. You have good visibility out of the sides, and then the windshield is nice and large. So that's good. Now the brakes on here are good. They're very progressive. They do feel a little bit on the soft side, but it's a big SUV, so that's easily forgivable. The only thing I have had an issue with so far has definitely been the acceleration of this engine. It's definitely fine for around town, but because we are so high up in elevation, I believe we're somewhere in between 6,000, 8,000 feet in elevation. The air's a little bit thinner up here, so the engine isn't getting as good of breathing as it can be if we were closer to sea level. So the result of that is not very good power delivery. The power delivery is fine. The car will get up and moving, but I think I've caught myself really going about at least halfway on the accelerator about 50% of the trip. All right, so in terms of acceleration, so I'm gonna go ahead and just lay into it full throttle. You know, it's definitely not a sports car, but has enough to get you moving. It's just not gonna have that punch that a lot of people would expect from a V6 engine. As a matter of fact, I think if Kia would have thrown the 3.3 liter twin turbo from the Stinger in here, that would be a fantastic car, but I completely understand why they didn't. Other than the engine, that's probably one of the few downsides about the car. Everything else is absolutely fantastic. The interior is stunning. It looks so, so good. The Harman Kardon sound system on here is phenomenal. And of course, the all-wheel drive does a great job. As a matter of fact, I have it on the screen that shows me where it's distributing power. And I've caught it sending power to the rear a lot more often than I thought it would. Actually, probably about 80% of my drive, it was sending at least a little bit of power to the rear wheels, which that's very reassuring when it comes to an all-wheel drive system that's basically electronically based. Now, there are a few features I did not tell you guys about earlier. One is going to be basically a quiet mode for your sound system. So what that does is if you have kids in the back sleeping, it mutes the back speakers and only plays through the front speakers. Of course, there is a little bit of sound that will still carry onto the back, but you can kind of see the point of that. And then the second one was if you have kids in the rear seat, and let's say if they're getting out of the left side, which in the United States is the side that traffic will pass you by. So if you're getting out on the left side and the blind spot monitor detects a car coming, it'll actually prohibit you from opening the door. That way you don't open the door and step into traffic. Once the car has passed, it will then allow you to get out of the car and unlock the doors for you. Pretty cool features for sure. All right, so going through the drive modes here. So I'm in comfort right now. I'm going to switch it into sport mode. So the RPM's already kicked up just a little bit, and now I'm going to floor. So you still don't get that punch, but it does shift down a lot faster, and the transmission on here is actually very, very fast. The shifts are really, really quick, really immediate. You don't ever feel the car actually shifting. The steering also gets a little bit tighter, and you can tell that the car holds the road a lot better. And I just love the way this thing drives. It drives so smooth. It's not quite CX-9 levels of like engagement and sportiness, but for being a bigger car, it is very, very close. Now, if you switch this into eco mode, it is still has a good amount of push whenever you floor, and it'll still kick up pretty quick. But if you are just getting into the throttle normally, you have to go in about halfway before you get enough power to really get you moving. But you know, that's the point of eco mode, is to keep those RPMs very, very low. Other than that, there's snow mode and smart mode, which smart is basically going to adjust itself according to your driving style. So all in all, the Kia Telluride is a fantastic driving vehicle. It just doesn't have that power that I really, really expected from this size of a vehicle. Other than that, it looks fantastic inside and out. The price tag is very attractive for all the features and all the high quality things that you're getting in this vehicle. And then of course, you get the fantastic Kia warranty, which is hands down one of the best warranties out there. So I think if you want a car that can actually seat about 7 or 8 people, and you want it to be as high quality as possible and pay not a ton of money, this is definitely the vehicle to get. This new Telluride is very, very impressive, and if you guys have the opportunity, be sure to go out and test drive one. That's gonna wrap up my review of the all-new Kia Telluride. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. I have new content every single week, and I hope to see you guys next review. Y'all take care.